Okay, so let's think about cybersecurity. Imagine you want to call some trouble for a website. You've basically got two options. Option one, you could try to pick the lock on the front door, sneak inside, and get access to things you shouldn't. Or option two, you could just block the front door completely so nobody, not even the real users, can get in. See, one is all about getting access, the other is about destroying availability. And that brings us to a really interesting question. How on earth can a website be totally shut down, stopped from working for everyone, without a single bit of data actually being stolen? It sounds a bit weird, right? Because we always think of hacking as stealing stuff. But as we're about to find out, that's really not the whole picture. All right, so let's look at that first type of attack, the one where the goal is to get inside. This is all about getting past that login screen we all know so well. You know how pretty much every website or app you use asks for a username and a password. Well, that's basically its digital front door. An access attack is all about finding a way to get through that door. And if an attacker manages it, they get what we call unauthorized access. The really crucial part is that once they're in, the system thinks they are the real user. They can do everything that user could do. So how do they do it? Well, one of the most common ways is called a brute force attack. And the name pretty much says it all. This isn't some super clever, sneaky trick. It's just about using raw, repetitive power. An attacker uses a program that just tries to guess the password over and over and over again automatically until it stumbles on the right one. And it's not totally random. It's actually quite methodical. First, the attacker targets a specific username. Then, they let the software do its thing. The program will usually start by trying all the really obvious common passwords first. You know, things like password or 123456. Then it'll try short combinations. And it just keeps on trying, guessing thousands of combinations a second, until it finds a match. And this is exactly why your teachers are always telling you to use strong passwords. It's so important. The weaker your password is, like if it's short or a common word, the quicker an attack like this is going to work. A simple password could be guessed in seconds, but a really long, complex one, it could take that same software hundreds of years to crack. A weak password is like leaving your front door unlocked. Okay, so that's all about getting in. Now let's switch gears and look at the other kind of attack. This one's totally different. The goal isn't to get access at all. It's just to shut the whole thing down. This is called a denial of service attack, or DOS for short. Here, the aim isn't to be sneaky. It's to be as loud and disruptive as possible. Think of it like this. A web server can handle requests from lots of users. But what if millions of fake requests all arrived at the exact same second? The server gets totally overwhelmed, it can't cope, and it just grinds to a halt or even crashes, making it completely unavailable for genuine users. So the key thing to remember here is what a DOS attack doesn't do. The attacker isn't getting into the system. They are not accessing any data, and they are definitely not stealing information. The one and only goal is to cause disruption and stop the service from working. And for the real users, the effect is simple. They can't get in. And this reveals a really big idea in security. A system can have the world's best password protection and the strongest encryption. It can be super secure against theft, but it can still be made completely unusable by an attack that just swamps it with traffic. So security isn't just about protecting data. It's also about making sure the system is actually there to be used. To really get our heads around this, it helps to know what we're actually trying to achieve with security. It turns out there are three main goals. In cybersecurity, we talk about three big ideas. First is confidentiality. That's all about keeping data secret, which a brute force attack tries to defeat. Then there's integrity, which is about making sure data is accurate and hasn't been changed. But the third one, the one a DOS attack targets, is availability. And that just means making sure a system is actually up and running for the people who need to use it. Okay, let's pull these two big ideas together now. For your exams, it is absolutely essential that you understand the difference between an attack that targets access and one that targets availability. So let's make it crystal clear. Access attacks, like a brute force attack, their aim is simple, to log in as a real user, and their method is guessing passwords. On the other hand, we have availability attacks, like a denial of service attack. Their aim? To stop the system from working, and their method is to overload it with requests. See? Totally different goals, totally different method. So, to wrap everything up, here's something to think about. A proper exam-style question. Could you explain, in your own words, exactly how a denial of service attack affects a system's users? Think about what it stops them from doing and why that's such a big deal. If you can nail that, you've really understood the crucial difference between an attack on access and an attack on availability.